Let me see. Okay. So does anyone have anything that they'd really like to highlight from their reports? I will talk about my stuff a bit later, but if anyone else has anything big that they would like to talk about.
I just had, if anyone wants to send me pictures from convention or anything, I have a folder on the website now, so I can upload them there. If they want to send them to me or something.
Make a little note here. And you just want those to your email?
Yeah. Or is that for like for state and nationals or anything specific?
For national convention, sorry.
National? Okay.
I haven't done a state one, but if you have state ones, I can totally make a folder for that. You can send them.
And I saw Stephanie pop in there, so.
Brian.
That's okay. I just wanted to tell you thank you as well. Everybody had their stuff in before the meeting, and that makes my life really easy, so thank you for that. Okay, does anyone else have anything they'd like to highlight from their report?
Well, we have to go through the financial report anyways, so I can jump in and do that real quick.
Okay.
So just to go over the current financial status, at the beginning of May, we started with $18,586.80 in our account. We received $72 in dues from NSSNA, 82 cents in interest. The cash was deposited from merchandise sales, so that was $720, and then an additional $250 was also deposited, and that was like our register, like cash kind of thing. That was just what we had in our cash box. Then we received the reimbursement from local for the merchandise table, so $35 was also deposited. The only expenses that came out was the $9.50 charge for jot form for the website. And our ending balance was $19,655.12. So I'm happy with the way things are looking. We're trending upward. That's always good. So yeah, financial report. There you go. Any questions?
I'm just talking to a muted screen is all. It's fine. Thank you. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to add? I know that it's kind of stagnant right now a little bit for most of us, so I can understand. Okay, so we will move on to new business. If you have anything to add later on, just let me know. Let me find it here. Or old business, sorry. Okay, so old business, we need to make sure to sign up for school contacts. So the last time I looked, we still had 26 schools open. So I know when we originally talked about this, we said we're signing up for 2 schools. Well, I got counting and we had 49 and we have like 11 board members, so that was not adding up. I know a lot of people have already signed up for a couple, so I guess what I'm asking is if you'll go back in and make sure you sign up for a total of 4, that will cover everything. And if you could just do it like right after the meeting so that we don't forget. Like I said, you don't have to contact these schools right now. It's nothing that you're like signing up. You're not obligated right now. But I just want to have it done. One last thing we have to worry about as we get closer to convention. And I did put instructions in the agenda of how to get there. Essentially, you just go to the drive and you search for contact and it'll pop up, and then you just click the checkbox next to your name. So if you have any questions, let me know. The next old business that we had was the $1,000 flood relief philanthropy thing that we've been working on. So it's still not going as planned, but we're getting there. So we are We applied to be tax exempt. We are almost through that process. We are just waiting on confirmation from Walmart. Once we get that number, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Jen, we are good for like, we can buy forever, tax exempt, correct?
So technically yeah, we'll be good. We won't have to worry about it because our tax exempt status with the state doesn't actually expire. So we'll be fine. They should just kind of continue it, run it. We should be good. No other board going forward. We'll have to deal with Walmart in this way.
Okay, so we should be set. It's a long process to get through, but this won't happen every time that we want to buy stuff. So we are almost done, and I think that Jen and I are planning on going shopping sometime this week. That's what we're hoping for. That being said, we also kind of made a little change, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. We are considering, I'm going to call the Salvation Army tomorrow. I'm waiting to hear back from them. But we were thinking possibly donating those supplies directly to the Salvation Army, because then they can evenly distribute them throughout the state rather than that one area in like Fillmore County that we were talking about. How do you feel about that? Is that okay with everyone if we were to go through Salvation Army and let them distribute supplies?
Sounds good to me.
I agree.
We're just trying to make it a little more fair, so we're not like picking one community to give to. We want to make sure that we're covering everyone.
I agree.
So then the next thing was the National Nurses Association 5K. So I'm going to let Jen take that one.
So I am still at a standstill with that one, with the person that's actually going to be heading that up that's on the National Nurses Association. She just graduated with her master's, so she's off getting ready to test to be an NP. So she has kind of put stuff at a standstill at the moment. I hope to be meeting with her this week, so I can kind of get the process started, at least get information so I can email it out to you guys. So then we can kind of review it and then decide from there, hey, is this something we want to do as a board? Yes or no? And then just go from there. It shouldn't be. I pretty much just want to know what the financial outlook is from her. What was the sales last year? What were what were the profits? What are the anticipated? If we can get the last couple of years on that, then I would feel better about making a decision for fundraising. So,
Yep.
Hopefully, I will have an email for you guys this week.
Okay, so I will push that to the next meeting. We can vote on it then. It's not really a huge deal, but it's still in the process.
And that's not until September anyways, so they haven't ramped up their planning, so we're like way ahead of the game.
Perfect. Okay, so that is all we have for old business. Is there anything that anyone wants to talk about that stuff? Anything you want to add?
I guess for me, I kind of talked to you and Jen a little bit about it. I tried downloading Google Voice. I guess there's just a lot of us on there, and I'm not able to get on it. I don't know if anybody else had the same issue.
Yeah, I think it was kind of an issue for a couple people, and honestly, as long as obviously we're to the limit. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you, that phone hasn't rang since except for when Jen called it.
Yeah.
It rang for a long time, so I don't foresee it being an issue.
Okay.
If we start getting a ton of phone calls, or if you feel like you're handing out that number quite often, then I will make sure to get you on there. But if you're not using that number, then I would probably a big deal. So if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many people are even on there, but we won't miss any phone calls because we're not having any.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mess. So I'm going to move on to new business, and then feel free to interject with whatever you need. Okay, so we kind of need to start thinking, this doesn't need to be decided on right now. I know that this focus was mostly fundraising and merchandise, and we did an amazing job with that. But for the next meeting, I think our focus is going to be more. So we have to have kind of a consistent theme for what we want for our t-shirts, our decorations. So just maybe think of some cool ideas for that. I know last year their theme was not just a nurse. And so they had kind of a word scramble on the front that was also like, I'm a friend, I'm a sibling, all of this stuff. So that was their theme last year. So whatever you think of, if you send something to me, I'll kind of remind you guys closer to the next meeting. But something to think about. The next thing was merchandise and logo. So you guys sent me a ton of stuff, and there were so many good ideas. I'm just so excited. So I'll list off some of the ones that we got. So badge reels, long sleeve t-shirts since convention is in February, compression socks. So we can play off of the nurses playing cards incident a little bit. Also, Nurse Blake's nurses support their young, or nurses supporting nurses. Sticking with more neutral colors, so like grays and blacks. And also another one was pastels this year at convention was huge. So like the baby pink and the teal. Possibly posting our merchandise on social media and sharing it. So I think this one's a big one, and this one kind of came up. It's both like merchandising and fundraising. It came up a lot, and I think it's a really good idea, but I'm gonna have to sit down and brainstorm, simply because we are going to have to charge shipping, not a big deal, but also we are going to have to pick one campus to do all of the packaging and send them out. So it's going to be a little bit bigger process. So I'm going to brainstorm on it and kind of think about that this month and figure out maybe some options to vote on. Another one was a nursing stethoscope bag, quarter zips like we had last year, but with a new design. Crew neck sweatshirts, tighter fitting women's V-neck shirts. So then neutral colored cloth totes for clinicals with tons of pockets. And then some of like the off-brand Yeti tumblers, and then we could put decals on them. So some of the quotes that were sent to me was, there's one that says, God made a nurse, coffee scrubs and rubber gloves. Nurses never fold, so that one's playing off of the card reference. And then the hashtag support their young, which is the Nurse Blake reference. I think all of these are amazing, and I don't think that we have anything to vote on right now. So essentially, I guess what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to spend the next month, and if you come up with anything, that's great, but I'm going to spend the next month or so putting things together, possibly like plugging in some of those quotes into like a t-shirt maker or whatever, so that I can present you guys with ideas, and feel free to bring your own ideas as well, but we can't really vote on anything until it's put together. So if you come up with something that you really like, make sure to send it to me, and we can vote on that the next time. And if you have any other ideas, stuff like that. So any questions there? That was a lot of information, but it's all in the agenda. So you can read through and be like, oh, I really like this idea, maybe not this one, and send your ideas to me, or any opinions that you have. So are we okay on merchandise? I just rambled a lot. So kind of same thing with fundraising, some of the options that I got. So we had talked before about the Schwann's fundraising. That is completely shut down, so that's not an option for us. Another thing that I thought was ingenious was a raffle. So this is actually Cammie's idea originally. She mentioned that maybe we buy like a stethoscope. We can tie in a lot of things to this raffle. So each person can sell tickets on their own campus. So we're going to be spanning the whole state. And also we can post this on our social media. We can tie a lot of stuff into it. So I think that's definitely a good option. Thoughts on that, of what we could raffle off? Do you think it's a good idea? Any concerns?
We would just be like raffling just any kind of stethoscope is the idea.
Yeah, stethoscope or something, any idea that you guys have. Okay. Basically, we would buy like a big ticket item, like over $100, and we would sell tickets for, I don't know, $2, $5, whatever we want to sell them for. My thought on ticketing was, you know, those big rolls of tickets, we could like separate that roll into a bunch of rolls, or send a roll to each campus or whatever. And then you guys would have to collect all of your tickets with people's contact information on them. You know, you write your name and phone or whatever, and send them back to whatever campus is going to do the drawing. And then we could like draw on like a live Facebook feed or something and announce the winner that way. Any thoughts?
I like it. I like the idea. We actually first time here at Clarkson, there was a stethoscope raffle, and it was a cardiac stethoscope, so it was pretty expensive. And I remember a lot of people just like bought tickets just to try and raffle for it. So I think people would be really interested in that.
Okay, perfect. So I guess this is more for Jen. Do you feel like we are ready for a vote on that? Do you have enough information that you could like give me like a number?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that cardiac stethoscopes are like $150 from what I remember. Do we want to do just a stethoscope? Do we want to do like a basket? Like, what do you think is a good payout versus what we're going to sell tickets for sort of number?
I would say if we do like a Littman stethoscope, let's do a little bundle and throw in some other stuff. If we do something more expensive, such as a cardiac stethoscope, then let's just do that stethoscope. So it kind of depends on what we want to purchase.
So I know that the Littman, the way it works is there's like a level 1, a level 2, and then the 3 is the cardiac, and there's two levels of cardiac. I want to say the most expensive is like 150, 175. The cheapest I think is around 90, maybe. As far as other stuff we could put in, does anyone have any ideas? I thought maybe like if we put in maybe one of our t-shirts or something.
We could also put in like med scissors, hemostats, stuff like that. Pins.
Yeah.
We put in merchandise.
Cardiac one, because then maybe they wouldn't be as versatile.
For the cardiac one, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe just a regular Littman, med scissors, hemostats. Anyone else?
We could throw in like some old merchandise that we did not sell at this national convention.
Okay, perfect. What do we feel about like maybe like a tumbler with a sticker on it, something like that, like a nursing sticker? I don't know. Anyway, if we do a little bundle, we can kind of vote. That'll be like a casual vote in our. I can I'll look stuff up and I'll put it into our group message, and then people can be like, oh, I like this or I like that. But with that information, Jen, what do you think is a good number to vote on?
I'd go up to 200.
Okay. Does everyone feel okay if we vote on 200? Any discussion on that?
Is that 200 including the shipping that we're sending with the tickets as well?
Good question.
Oh.
Very good.
Yeah, we'd want to include,
So do we want to make two separate votes? One for this much we can spend on the basket, and then do we just want to vote on the whole act of ordering and shipping tickets without a number? Is that possible?
I think you can pick up those ticket rolls for like $5. So I'll go to Walmart and see if I can't find a bunch of them and get them just purchased. We'll see what they are. But I honestly think those huge rolls are only like $5.
So what if it would be easier if we can find someone on each like everybody has a Walmart pretty much.
And they have them at Nobby's here in Omaha.
Yeah, so we could just have people buy them on their own campus. Whatever they spend, they can send you a receipt. You can send them a check back. Would that be easier?
I like that. Yep.
Okay, so I guess what I need people, first we're going to do a motion to allot $200 to the raffle basket. So we'll start with that.
I make a motion to offer up $200 for the raffle basket.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, so we will pass the motion to allot $200 to a raffle basket. The next thing I'm going to need a motion for then is to eventually reimburse any receipts that come in from buying tickets for this raffle.
I motion as treasurer to reimburse everyone for any receipts that they submit in regards to those raffle tickets.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, So then just something to keep in mind when you go to submit your receipt, we'll figure out who on each campus, like as we progress, who's going to pick up tickets or whatever. But when you do go to submit that receipt, it needs to be an itemized receipt just so that we can see that you bought tickets with it. You're not buying your vodka. Okay. Next thing.
So I do need to add in a question on that. We will, and this will be for later discussion because we're just getting started. But how are we going to want to advertise this to campuses where we don't have a campus?
That is a good question. So this could possibly be included in like our reach out emails in August, because then we can send this to like high schools, because those people that want to go into nursing still probably want stethoscopes. So we could do that. The only thing is getting their tickets from them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to brainstorm on that one.
We'll have to talk about that one later. I just wanted to put that out there as a seed to plant for now, because I think it's great we can actually get so many campuses already, but we do want to try and get it out there a little more than that. So we definitely will want to up a social media presence for this, and maybe we can do online tickets or something.
Yeah, that might be something. I mean, if we don't even have to buy tickets, if we could do an online thing, but I'm gonna have to brainstorm on that one. That's a good question.
Once we sign up for our schools, we could even.
The other thing we'll have to think about. My computer's froze. What the heck? So the other thing we'll have to think about with that too is how much we want to charge for tickets. But honestly, I think it's going to be most conducive to us to probably wait until like August to do this.
Yes. No, I say let's do it when everyone's coming back for like when they start their fall semester. Let's hit them as soon as they get all their money from student loans. Let's release the raffle and start advertising it. We'll start advertising it probably in July on our, maybe on our Facebook page. Say, hey, coming up, we're going to be doing a raffle. Stay tuned to see what's going to be getting raffled off, and kind of do a little build up to it.
Yeah, I think that would be perfect. This will just give us the freedom to, like, if I see something super cool, to run it past you guys and then find cool stuff for our basket. Okay. So other fundraising options, we can do like Yankee Candles, 31 bags, cookie dough, all of that stuff. I think those are really good options, but they take a lot of manpower, so we have to keep those in mind. The other thing is local restaurants, so like those Dine With Me nights, where a portion of the proceeds are donated back to us. So we could pick like a restaurant that most people have in their town. We're not going to be able to hit everyone, but we could do that sort of thing. Once again, I am to be completely honest with you in that I want this to be a fun thing for us. I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. So we're going to do one thing at a time, but those are some options. And if you have more options or you have really good opportunities come open to you, please let me know. But for right now, I know the raffle is going to be good because it's relatively low manpower. I mean, you can just share it with people as you go. But so that is that stuff. Any comments on that? So moving on, I have created a passwords document in the Drive. This is so that whenever people come on next year, we don't have to be like kind of searching around a little bit, because everybody has their own passwords for things that they've created too. So it's just in the Drive. All you have to do is go in. There's literally a folder that says passwords, and then you can just go put the passwords in there. When doing that, keep in mind, like, I mean, for example, Jen probably has a password to the bank. We're not going to put those in there because not everybody needs that. But your passwords that would benefit everyone can go in there. The next thing is I also made a convention planning folder. There's not a whole lot in there yet. We're just going to kind of add to it as we go. But that is simply to help us communicate in between meetings of things going on, or if we need help. I don't know how helpful it's going to be. It's just an option, but I just want you guys to get in the habit of going in and checking it. And to get to that, you go into the Drive. There's a convention folder. You click on it, and then there's 2020 convention. You click on that, and then there's like a document in there. So you kind of have to go in, but it's relatively easy. And the name of that document is Convention Planning, I think, 2020 Convention Planning. So that is what I have. Does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about?
I just don't have a lot of stuff going on right now. I know a lot of us don't, but if anybody here needs stuff for convention, I'm available here in Omaha, so just hit me up. I'm free this summer, so just let me know.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know everybody's probably feeling a little stagnant. So yeah, we'll get there. It's just enjoy this time because it is going to hit us. Like, it's just when August hits, it's going to hit us. I just know it. So just enjoy it and do what you can. Another thing that you can be working on is just look into your drive folders. If there is crap in there, I mean, don't delete things that are important, but like, if there's stuff that you don't need, delete it. If there's stuff that you feel like you do need, put it in there. Another thing too is, personally, I have started like a to-do list. So when we transfer over to the next board, I want us to be able to print out a paper that has their password to the drive in it and has all the things we need to do in the first month. So maybe this would be a good time, since you're still relatively fresh on it, make up a document of whatever you did. I know that some people didn't have a lot to do, but if you had to go in and like, so for example, Hannah had to go make a roster, like put a little to-do list in there of this is what you need to do your first month. Just try and take a little bit of that overwhelmingness away. So that's something to be thinking about, but really there's not a lot going on. So that's all I have.
Ella just messaged in the group. She said her microphone isn't working, but she would like to do, or she was wondering if you want to do a community service event to kick off the school year.
I think that'd be a really good option. Let me read her thing here. Let me read back. I know she posted some in here that she had looked at, and I thought a couple were really good. I can't find anything. Okay. So some ideas that she had posted: a 5K fundraising walk, a winter coat drive, a sports tournament, a community dinner, a bake sale, a wishing tree. So you set up a Christmas tree and put tags on with items. I think that one is genius. Open mic night, a talent show, a concert of local musicians, and a stargazing bonfire where we sell s'mores and hot chocolate, which I've never heard of that, and that's cool too. So does anyone have any of those that they're really interested in?
I know we do the coat tree and the angel tree for us back here in Omaha, and that goes over really, really well for us.
So who do you approach in Omaha? Like, what store do you go to, or do you do a store, or?
No, we just have we pick a tree, and then all the SNA students themselves go in and buy items, and then we go to a local shelter, and then we distribute them through the shelter.
So that would be a really good option.
But I don't know if we can go and do that differently.
One thing with that is that a lot of local SNAs already do that.
Okay.
So I guess for us, since we're spread out across the whole state, it might be harder to do that for
that is true.
SNA, like as a state versus just the local ones.
So I'm definitely thinking that something like that would be good around like Christmas time. You know what I mean? For gifts and stuff like that.
I think so too. So then let's see. I'm trying to think of how we could span these out a little. So some of this stuff is going to have to be, we take initiative and do it on our own campus, and that's hard. It's very hard because we're not going to be able to span a lot of these events out over the state, which I think is our biggest struggle this year. But I guess what I would do is, I think we all should plan to do something, a community service event at the beginning of the year. So maybe talk with Emma a little bit and see kind of what her options are for you. And we can all pick one to do on our own campuses. I'm going to try and think about, and I'll talk with Emma too, about how we can maybe do one across the state, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. So I guess moving forward, we need to probably pick something on each of our own campuses to spread the state SNA, but it's not going to probably be collectively as a group. Just because that's really hard. But I am going to brainstorm and we're going to try and come up with something. If I can come up with one that we can do all together collectively from our remote location, then that would be ideal. But we'll just have to kind of see how that goes. Any thoughts there? So I guess that's another thing. I'm going to add it to my list to talk more about before and during next meeting, because I don't feel super prepared to on that one.
No, but so even if we did, just a thought, like even if we did different things on our own campus, if we maybe could like narrow down a day where we said, okay, this, the third Saturday in September, we're going to do our Nebraska State like community service day, and whether we had all the same things or we did different things, then at least it could be like on the same day and we could advertise it that way, like we're reaching out across the state. And I don't know, I'm cheesy.
That's a good idea.
That's a very good idea. So I guess what we need to do before our next meeting is kind of brainstorm some ideas, and I'll reach out a little bit and we can possibly vote on a day. But it's going to be hard. We might have to wait until school gets a little closer just so we know all of our schedules. But I think that's a really good option to pick a day and do something so that we're all motivated to do something on the same day. Perfect. Okay. Any other things to add to that? That would be a really good idea. So Emma just said the bonfire would be a great way to kick off the year, and we could do it on the same night. And I think that would be a really good option. I really like that idea. Yeah.
That's my favorite option. I was thinking like I don't know if you can have a fire if everyone has like a lake or something that they can go have a fire at, but here, like Lake Minotaur, if you can have a bonfire out there, that would be awesome.
I like that idea too.
Like a fun way to end summer and start school.
I don't know how to make it more community service oriented, but it could even just be a bonding thing, honestly, like just a spreading the word thing. Also keeping in mind safety. I have to be that person, but I think it's a really good option and we will work on it. So, perfect. Thank you, Emma.
For the bonfire thing, we could make it more of like a fundraising thing too, if we were to sell like the hot chocolate or.
Oh yeah.
Then.
Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. It's my kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna work more on that. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna talk about it, and we will talk more about that next meeting. I like that idea a lot. Okay. Anything else? I feel like I'm just slacking, pushing everything off to next meeting, but we met, so here we are. Okay, perfect. All right. Then the last thing that we have to do is vote on absences. So I think the only person is Cammie. And Cammie is busy with she got an externship, I think, at the Mayo Clinic, so she had something going on tonight with that. So that in mind, I'm going to need, I guess I should ask, does anyone have any concerns with Cammie being an excused absence tonight? Put me on the spot. Okay, so all those in favor, I need a motion first. Yep, to approve Cammie as a excused absence.
I motion to make Cammie's absence from today's meeting excused.
I second that.
Perfect. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Perfect. Okay, I'm an idiot. Also, Jenny Beckman is not here. I don't know why. So, whoever wants to motion either way on that one, go right ahead.
I'm gonna be the jerk. I make a motion to put Jenny Beckman down as an unexcused absence from today's meeting, only because there was no communication.
Okay. Is there any discussion on that? I don't know, man. I don't know.
We
I
have
second that motion.
rules. We gotta start.
We do have
playing.
rules. Okay. Thank you for giving me a backbone. Okay, so all those in favor of voting Jenny Beckman as an unexcused absence, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say aye. Okay, so we are going to put Jenny down as an unexcused absence. I think I should make a clarification. I think it's up to 3. I'm going to have to double check the bylaws, but it's up to 3 unexcused absences. So this isn't like a huge like Jean Yu deal, but I do appreciate that everyone communicates before the meeting if they're not going to be here, and we've been pretty good about it. So I will handle that. Okay. Anything else? The last thing, so our next meeting is scheduled for Sunday, July 7th. So the first Sunday in July at the same time as always, 6 o'clock. And then if that is all we have, I'm going to need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, second.
I second.
So all those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, same sign. Perfect. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you. I'm going to stay on because we're going to talk financial stuff, but you are all free to go.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, done. Sorry it took so long. It was a beautiful day.
Shay,
Yes.
can I read this to you and you tell me if it's okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Stop recording.
Motion